In many ways, this is that calm before the storm episode because you know that the shit's going to be going down between Krapka and Uvo in the next one.
Hunter x Hunter, episode 46, Chasing and Waiting.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters and hunters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and action-packed, thrilling tale of Hunter x Hunter. Our last episode saw us with, of course, Uvo breaking free, and at the end, of course, vowing to go after and kill Kurapika. So that is how things left off. We had not seen Gon and Killua in a couple of episodes, 2 or 3 episodes, and certainly we know that the shit is hitting the fan or is about to hit the fan. So with everything, of course, and Uvo now trying to hunt down Kurapika. So that's where the episode left off. And that's actually right where this one picks up, Uvo wants to get some information and be able to actually get to Kurapika and or Kurapika or whatever the hell you want to call him. So I call him Special K. But and he's it's more of a pride thing, It's like, hey, this person bested me or captured me and then punched me in the face, So it's very much like a revenge thing and a restoring pride in oneself, at least as far as I'm concerned. So the first half of the episode, though, winds up actually going and taking place on Kurapika and company have gone and first we wind up going and seeing the kind of what was happening towards the tail end of last episode when Hisoka at the rundown carnival wound up meeting Kurapika and suggested them teaming up. So we leave off that picks up where it left off, and he's kind of waiting for an answer, and he says, listen, I'm not saying that we gotta team up and fight side by side. I'm just saying exchange information as long as it's mutually beneficial to both of us. Simple as that. So what's your answer? And as Kurapika's walking away, he's like, meet me here same time tomorrow, And this is after he takes a call from Melody, finding out that Uvo escaped, the Phantom Troop busted him out, shit hit the fan, right? So the rest of the first half of the episode winds up taking place back at the actual hotel room because, they're bodyguards, of course, for the Nostrad family, for the actual leader is Light Nostrad, but, they've never had any direct contact with him, and they just know that they're supposed to protect the daughter, Neon. So they wind up waking her ass up and saying, hey, listen, we need to get in touch with, the leader's dead over here, the guy who contacts your father all the time, so we need some direct contact with him. Everybody winds up nominating Kurapika to be the new leader, the interim leader, and to actually speak on their behalf to the boss and everything else. So Kurapika winds up getting on the phone with Light Nostrad, and Light says, listen, I that's fine, okay, I'll be there tomorrow. He's in his airship or what have you. Just keep Neon safe and in that room until then, So Kurapika's like, all right, cool, whatever, and then kind of goes to survey the situation and sort of think about what's going to happen and what have you. Then, meanwhile, we wind up actually seeing Uvo along with a couple of other Phantom Troop members. One of them's looking things up on the computer form on the Hunter website, so obviously he must be a hunter. And he finds out a number of buildings that are registered and owned by the Nostrad family, and then based on that, finds out family member names, where they may be staying, checked in at hotels, things of that nature. Anything you can find on the internet nowadays, right? So Franklin winds up coming back, the big Frankenstein-looking dude with a bunch of more Heineken beers, because if you remember, Uvo's got to keep drinking those so he can piss out the leeches and they don't actually hatch inside of him and then cause him extreme penis pain and death. So, but anyway, Uvo winds up finding out then and getting a lead on a few different places where Kurapika may be, right? And we wind up seeing too that he winds up. He's interrogating a couple people and winds up finding out about Light Nostrad and his daughter being in town, where she's at, this and that, and then of course he kills him and crushes one dude's face and smashes him into the wall brutally, and because he's pissed off and like I said, he's got to whoop some ass, he's got to kill Kurapika, or at least try. But then, what I thought was kind of nice is the second half of the episode goes and takes us back to the forgotten main characters that we hadn't seen. Because so much has been going on the last few episodes, I honestly forgot to, even give a shit about what Gon and Killua were up to. So we wind up seeing that Gon, Killua, and Leorio, who had been doing the arm wrestling kind of scam, I guess you would call it, or whatever. I mean, it's not really a scam, but Gon is just much stronger than they obviously let on. So anyway, they've gotten together about 8 million, Jenny. And they need about 8 billion, so like 1,000 times what they have, or 100 times, or I think it's 1,000 times. A lot more. Anyway, so then they go and Leorio says about how, when he beat all these people, he really just wanted to kind of spread the word around, and he goes, hopefully we'll find some moles. And it's funny because he refers to these things as moles. And then he winds up talking, they get arm wrestle, and this mafia guy, like, approaches them and basically says, listen, this is chump change you're making here. You come with me, I can get you to make some real money, So then as they're walking, it's funny because Gon's like, oh, this is one of those moles that he must have been talking about. And Leorio goes, yeah, it seems like a big fish. And he's like, wait, don't you mean moles? And I just think little nods like that are funny because I use a lot of different analogies for, for the person, people, places, things, stuff like that. And some people don't get it. They don't get the context of what I'm saying. They think, what the hell, I've even had people go and say, when I comment and say, yeah, thanks, brother, or, that sort of thing, they'll be like, are you actually his brother, because they don't understand that it's just sort of, it's not a slang term, but it's really just, it's my way of saying, like, friend or acquaintance or person that I know, Anyways, I just thought it was kind of funny. It was a little nod to it. So they go into this underground arm wrestling place where people bet on it, and they can literally win millions per round. They get 10% of the winnings that are bet on in this. It's like an underground mafia run type of deal. So they're going to enter Gon. The mafia dude that brought him there that's going to enter him is going to take 50% of their winnings. But you can bet on yourself. So basically they can take what they have, bet on Gon, and then go and multiply the money. And I mean, you do the math. You can come up with some money really quickly doing this. So Gon's about to jump in the ring and fight, and some weird-looking dude, some weird-looking like WWF wrestling reject man in some tights, jumps in. Man, this pasty dude comes in, and what they do is they wind up going and talking about how there's more or less like this bounty hunt. They pass out flyers, and what it is it's I think it's like a 5 million is the entry fee, 5 million Jenny, but then for the right to go and hunt one of these Phantom Troop members down. When the Phantom Troop members, when you capture them or you hunt them down, they wind up giving 2 billion Jenny for each one that's captured. So this is how Gon and Killua and Leorio find out about what's actually going on and what happened. They wind up finding out about the attack on the auction house the night before and everything else. So very cool stuff, and actually nice to see them in action. So they go, and then it's kind of neat because at the end of the episode, Gon's like, hey, we haven't met up with Kurapika yet. So he's like, I'm going to call him. He calls him. And you just go and you see the footsteps. You hear the footsteps, and you see the feet of Uvo as he's walking up the stairwell to get to the penthouse suite or whatever in the hotel where the room where Neon is staying, of course. And Kurapika's just standing there letting the phone ring, And Gon's like, oh, okay, well, maybe he's just not answering, And they hear that he was hired as a bodyguard. Maybe he's on a mission. And then they start putting two and two together and going, well, if the fan troop was actually the ones that were there, this could be big-time stuff as far as Kurapika goes and everything else. So I thought that it was very good. It was done very well. At the end of it, Uvo goes and bursts into the room, and he's like, oh, so you're alone, huh? You got a lot of balls type of thing, Where do you want to die, I'll honor all requests. And Kurapika's like, yeah, preferably maybe out in the desert or something like that, because I'm going to have you screaming for your life. So that's how shit ends off, man. And I am just stoked to get finished with this and to watch what happens in this battle between Kurapika and this heavyweight Uvo, this Phantom Troop, one of these members, one of the 13 members that he has vowed to take out, and obviously, wants to get the all the Scarlet Eyes back from his clan, from the Kurta. So very cool stuff. Episode question for you, though, brothers and sisters. What are your thoughts overall, I guess you would say, so far in the Yorknew arc, as we found some of the story and we've seen some of the characters, and now they're all intertwining and coming together? What are your thoughts thus far on this story arc and what we've seen so far in the last 10 or 12 episodes? Let me know what your answer is to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation.
Remember to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and my other channel as well.